All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. It's Pastor Dow. I'm back in. I'm back in from South Carolina, a building. I'm totally exhausted. However, when I got in, I started reading quite a few emails, and I wanted to just kind of do somewhat of a summary address here for a second. All right. Listen to me very closely. When I first came into this walk, where I'm at today and what I'm doing, I was as ignorant as the day is long, and I'm still ignorant today. I think it's a safe place. I'm not saying exalting foolishness or exalting ignorance. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that I was flat out ignorant in. I grew up in the American culture, just like you have. But the one strength that I have always had, ever since I was a little child, I've always been able, let me just put it like this. At first, not too much care about what people think, but march to my tune. Well, after being filled with the Holy Spirit, have my whole life changed after being a veteran in the military for 10 years. I was planning on retiring in there. My whole world got turned upside down. I started reading that Bible. Everything that you see in my life, all the reflection that you see in my life is based on what I have read, comprehended, understood, and listen to this one, not only understood, but to work to put into practice. Straightway, the community here. I actually got all the direction from this community from the Bible. It's easy to read. You'll read it. You'll read the words of the Messiah. You read the words over in Acts 2, Acts chapter 4. It's just in there. And not only that, just the community of Israel itself. Since coming into the faith, remind you, my mind was Christian. Everything that I understood, listen to me, I think you're going to say a word, culturally, was all from the persuasion of Christianity. It's all the doctrine, it's all the theology that I knew. And don't get me wrong, I do not fault anyone for saying that they are Christian. I am totally against the religion of Christianity 100%. I am not against individual people who are blinded in certain areas in their life, especially concerning doctrine, theology, which most of them really truly don't even care to look in and investigate anyway. I've learned over the years that the majority of people, their mindset and their minds are mostly shaped by the environment and the particular culture that they find themselves in. I have met very, very few men, and when I say very few men, less than what's on this one hand right here, fingers, less than what's fingers on this one hand. I have met very, very few men that have actually had enough integrity of heart, enough honor and intestinal fortitude, enough spirituality, and enough truth in them to actually stand on the word of God, regardless of what civil society says, regardless of what religious dogma or religions says, regardless of what family perspectives, theologies, and beliefs are. I have met very few men that actually love the eternal Most High, the creator universe, enough to actually live, stand, and represent his truth. Because after all, he never did ask me, he never did ask you for our opinions about anything. He asked us to represent his truth. And so when you hear me bring what you will call certain strange things to your mind, believe this. Before Pastor Dow adopts a position, I carefully and very strategically search it out before I take a position. And when I take a position, you better believe I've done my due diligence. I've used autonomy. I can never say I've exhausted, but I've done a lot of exhausting in these matters. And if you see me promoting any truth, it is doctrinally sound according to the scriptures, according to what Christ said. Remember what Christ says. Jesus told the people, Yahshua HaMashiach told the people that If you believe Moses, then you should have believed me, because he wrote of me. That's what he said. That means that the continuity between Moses, Moshe, and Jesus, Yahshua, was together. I understand that you hear me preach and teach a lot of things that at first is going to offend you. At first is going to cause some rage and some anger. It's going to cause some vitriol. I understand. Believe you me. I believe me. I've been there and done that. And I especially get a lot of kickback from the women. After all, my YouTube demographic is 81 something percent male and 19% female, which is fine by me, because this is a ministry. It's a patriarchal ministry, just like the Bible is patriarchal. All I can say is that there's much to be desired. There really truly is. And I really truly mean no offense. I have to preach though. And in preaching, Paul told us in his letters to the disciples that he was training, when you preach the word, you have to be in season and out of season. And watch this. You have to reprove and rebuke. And see, most people think that reproving and rebuking is a work of the flesh. That's what they think. In other words, when you really truly hear real preaching, you're going to get upset. Not only are you going to get upset, you're going to be offended. And truth, which always sets free, in your case, if you keep that offense, it's going to take you away. That's exactly what it's done. If you really truly believe, any of you out there, if you really truly believe that I am so wrong on a lot of things, all I ask you to do is, before you judge me, is look and see what the Bible says, and do not look through the lenses of your religion. Do not look through the lenses of what you personally believed based on your own book of the law that you developed. I am not out of step with Yah. I have spent my life conforming to his image, and I will continue to keep doing that, whether America agrees with it or not, whether Christianity agrees with it a lot, whether any religion agrees with it a lot. My first and foremost allegiance is to him. And it should be with you as well. And I will always support, defend, uphold, and live his truth in the face of all condemnation. My resolve is set, and my course is steady. I know the path that I'm on. And I hope, be the Father's will, he continues to keep granting time, that 5 years from now, I'm a whole lot further in more truth, more growth, and more knowledge than I am now. 10, 20, 30 years. I do not want my life to be in vain. So I know the position that many of you have taken. And I know the reason why you talk the way you talk, especially things concerning theology and doctrine. I already know. I know what the pseudo-religious liars say. And I know how good. I mean, have you ever seen a beautiful building on the outside? That's the religion of Christianity. It looks so beautiful on the outside. It looks so appealing. But when you start really truly digging on the inside, when you start really truly, not when you go into the first part, you start going into all these other rooms and you start investigating what they really truly believe in it, according to what the Bible says, you're going to come to find out something's wrong. Something is greatly wrong. So, yes, Pastor, I will greatly offend. I promise you I will. It's not my intent to, but many of you will be. But if you can hear, and you have the ears to hear, because remember, the remnant is a few. It's not many. It's only a few. Success, according to this, is not waged in numbers. If that was the case, Noah would have had the whole world rather than 8 then, wouldn't he? And remember, the Messiah reminded us of the days of Noah. And it's going to be like that when we're in his end. There's so many things vying for your attention. So many things. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I usually call it the weekend end. And I hope that you're tuning in to straightwaytruth.com/live, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time every Sabbath morning. That's what you will call Saturday morning. Or online-church.org. Every Sabbath morning, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to be there, hopefully, Father's will. I'm going to be preaching and teaching the truth of the eternal kingdom of the gospel of Yahshua. Shalom and have a wonderful weekend. I hope that he grants you the ears to hear and the eyes to see and the honor to speak and stand for his truth.